Hello everybody, Low for Life here, bringing us a brand new video. So, we got some big news. YgoAmino from the Chaotic Discord managed to get an interview with Gannon at the convention where they were showing off the licensing. Now, it's a 5-minute video. He did also get some other questions in before and after, and I want to just bring you guys the updates on what's going on because these are some important updates, and I expect that we're going to start hearing more news as the year goes on, and especially as we get closer to 2020. So, I'm not going to play through the whole video. I am going to link it, and I'm also going to share it on all my media things because I want to spread this far and wide. This is very, very interesting. Is it just me, or does Brian Gannon kind of look like Kevin Spacey? It just dawned on me. But it's a very, very interesting interview here. He doesn't get to ask many questions, I presume, because Gannon's time is rather short. But however, what we do get is we get some very interesting info, and I'm going to relay all that info to you guys, but I'm also going to leave the links down below, so if you guys want to check it out and hear everything from his mouth himself. So first and foremost, and this is just from what I got, and keep in mind the audio is garbage. Sorry, YgoAmino, but and I can't really blame him for that. They're in a convention. I've tried recording in similar spaces. It is terrible. So first and foremost, old pack codes. So the old codes from the old cards, they will be basically honored for a separate format. That's what they're kind of gunning for right now. So they will be usable in a separate format. That's what they're very much considering, but that's about all in terms of that. Likewise, old codes will not be reused. So therefore, if they do re-release the old sets, they will have entirely new codes. Now then, in regards to the TV show, all of the current episodes, all 79 episodes, will get re-released. And from the way he was phrasing it, it kind of sounds like that they will be re-airing them first in America and Canada, and then branching out into other countries, possibly even getting dubbed in other languages. They do have a new story arc written, but however, a new season and all that is completely dependent on how well the game is received on launch. Depending on if the game does well, and depending on how well it is received and how popular it is and how much want there is for a new season of the TV show is going to be completely dependent on dependent on if we get a new season. They do have a story arc written. It just depends on getting the popularity up. Brian Gannon also confirmed it for a fact. I mean, it's always been rumored, but now Gannon confirmed it. Fire and Stone is done. It's completed. I've heard rumors also that they got 2 warehouses full of stock for it. I don't know if that's true or not. Gannon did not state anything about it, and YgoAmino hasn't stated anything about it, but some other people in the Discord were talking about it. Likewise, there's a rumor going around that Storm and Sea was also completed, but however, there's no confirmation on that either, so I'm not going to touch on that. Now then, YgoAmino also asked if that's going to be the first set or something, and Brian Gannon said yes, that's what they're kind of aiming for, to have Fire and Stone be the first set. Now that makes me very interested because are they going to re-release the old cards? Are they going to re-release the old sets? Are they going to come out with a Dawn of Param re-release and a Zenith of the Hive and so on and so forth? It's going to be very interesting. They will, so if they do go along with bringing back the TV show, they want to get back the old VAs. They're going to reach out to them, or at least attempt to, and try to work out a scheduling thing. And in regards to the artists, they will try and reach out to the old artists and try to get them back on board. Also, Epic Story Media is creating an online game and possibly a VR game, because they are creating a VR game for Beyblade and Slugterra, and they are currently contemplating whether or not they can work one for Chaotic. But however, they will be bringing back the online game. There's also people talking about in the Discord that there will be a mobile game, so that'll be interesting. I got some other stuff here to talk about. That was just my notes from the video itself. There were a few other questions and stuff that he got to ask about off video. First being that will there ever be a ban list? This is honestly something that I feel like Chaotic needed eventually, and it was getting to the point where they were probably going to need to implement one back in the day. But however, apparently Gannon said no, there will not be a ban list. But however, there will be different formats. Whether or not he's referencing 1v1, 3v3, 6v6, or ban list format and a non-list format, it's up to the air. That could also be advanced versus, what was it, like master versus apprentice format and stuff. Would have Frozen or Dragons be in his future card sets? They are in story, but he declined to say more. Considering Dragons were all but confirmed for Fire and Stone, I would assume that Dragons will be in that. As for the Frozen, I think they were starting to build to that, but it will probably be something we'll see later on. Here's an important one. Will they be reprinting the old cards? They don't plan on reprinting the old cards, however, functional reprints with a strong possibility. If they do, it would be more likely to be commons and uncommons. Now, what I feel like that they are meaning about this is that they will probably like reprint Maxor, but it'll have different artwork and be basically the same card. This is something very interesting. We will probably get like mass reprint sets or something with like everything being common and uncommon and having all arts or something. That's my guess though. I don't know, and obviously they haven't said anything, and keep in mind there's always subject to change. It'll be very interesting to see how things develop. And then here's the biggest one that I'm sure everybody is excited for. They are aiming for a 2020 launch. Aiming for a 2020 launch or an announcement for the launch. So this will be the potential release date or an announcement for the release date, and he just said they're hopeful for 2020. So this means we should, for a fact, hear sometime next year that the game is either going to come out next year or that it's going to be announced to come out sometime. So like, as in we might get an announcement next year, or it might get released next year. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, of course, again, things happen. This could get pushed back, then this could change. Okay, guys, it's always up in the air about how development goes with a card game, and for all we know, it might get pushed back years. A little bit of trivia. Felfer was named in honor of Michael Phelps. Just something kind of funny. So we got some other stuff down here in the Discord. Epic Media is working with Gannon on the show. However, they are very adamant about it being a TCG first and wasn't sure if the show would come back. That'll be based on player activity, but they will be re-releasing the old episodes. Hopefully this means we get some actual Blu-ray DVD releases of it. I would love to own the DVDs or Blu-ray on my shelf, but there is no releases. They have like a few episodes on DVD, but they're very expensive, and I am not paying that much for it. Let's see here. Trying to find... There's some pictures of Agame at the convention. It wasn't just Chaotic there, obviously. They had some other things. Here's one where they were showing off a little bit about the licensing, and the picture won't blow up, but oh well. Oh, wait, maybe I can just go jump. There we go. Let's see here. That giant PlayStation, that is cool. So here's a bit of a look at the booth itself. They have all old art. I don't recognize this art of interest, but I'm not going to make any stupid claims or anything. That's probably from the Ultimate Guide to All Things Chaotic, if I had to take a guess. They're showing it off. Looks like they got like a computer showing off other things. Just a kind of... Oh, wait. There's a picture of him and Gannon. Some other pictures. God, I want to go to Vegas one day. Probably won't ever happen, though, to be honest. Let's see here. I just can't wait for online play again. God. Let's see here. Trying to find some other stuff. Okay. They still own the old website, which is really, really interesting. He met the lead art designer, and he gave an okay on all things design-wise. Okay, that's interesting. Oh. I didn't notice that negative was back in here, apparently. Oh, they still have the codex and audio data along with 2 warehouses of products still. Okay, so that is confirmed, apparently. Okay, cool. I was just seeing that it was, I thought it was rumors. Yeah, if you haven't seen Negative's recent video, he's not too keen on a code system. I don't really blame him. Things were much different back in the day, and it's not so much the same anymore. God, I did not see that Negative was, had already seen this. I just kind of pestered him with a whole bunch of stuff earlier, but oh well. With the news. Whoops, let's see here. Oh, God. Let's see. I know he had something else on here that was interesting. They're pushing for a mobile game and a VR game, 2 separate games though as well, which is pretty cool. I'd be down for a mobile game, honestly. Let's see. Functional reprints are going to be a thing. We already saw that. And I think that's all the info I have seen. Let's go down one more page, see if he's... Okay, so yeah, they do have all the codecs. We saw that already. And the ones... Oh yeah, Chaotic is probably going to get a... God. Okay, so yeah, and that's it for all the news. So, I'm ecstatic. Of course, I'm going to be hyping this up big time. I really want Chaotic to do well, and I'm hoping that the game is still functionally the same in terms of gameplay and everything, because as I think I mentioned in my previous video, I talked to my locals, and they said that if I can drum up enough support there at my locals, and at least interest, they would be considering stocking the product, which I really hope they do, because of course I want to be able to buy these cards, support Chaotic, and also support my locals at the same time. But there is a Walmart right down the street from me, so if I need be, I'll go there. So what do you guys think of this news? If you've heard anything else, please leave your comments down below and everything. I will leave a link to the backup post here, as well as also a link to Blarger's video, not Blarger's, Agame's video on YouTube here. And I will also go ahead and leave an invite to the community Discord down below as well, since I usually get at least one comment about people asking about, hey, where's the Discord link? So I will leave that down below as well. Thank you all for watching, guys. Have a great day. It was your birthday. Happy birthday. See you all later. Peace out and goodbye.